guys, Robert here with the Piston Slap channel, and today we're going to be installing this aftermarket Uni Filter into the Triumph Tiger 800. As of today, the 15 through 17 are going to be the same, but you can find these pre-filters for the earlier models. What the pre-filter is going to do for you is it's going to filter out the dust and the dirt before it gets into your main filter. It replaces the air box down underneath the driver's seat. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you how to remove all this and get this filter installed. So if you're new to the Triumph Tiger, the first thing you're going to need to do is take your ignition key and stick it back here and disengage or unlock the rear seat for the passenger. So turning that key, lift up on your passenger seat and just pull back. If you have the heated seat option, you're going to have a plug attached to the seat, so don't rip the seat off your bike, guys. Simply just press the tab and pull back, and that's how you disconnect your seat. With the passenger seat removed, you can now remove your driver's seat by just sliding the driver's seat back and up. And also, if you have the heated seat option, squeeze the plug, pull it apart, and there's your driver's seat removed. Once you got the seat off and you got your whole area exposed here, the first thing you're going to want to do is remove this plastic cover that's over the ECM. This plastic cover is held on with an 8mm bolt. This 8mm bolt is Loctited into the frame. So go ahead and remove that. Don't forget and don't lose your washer. Once that's removed, just lift up on the back and wiggle it around and pull it out, and that'll expose the tube that connects this plastic piece to the airbox. Alright guys, real quick, sorry for this crappy video, or me standing here in the light, but this plastic bracket right here is you'll want to take this out by removing these two Allen screws. And then, I don't know if you can see down in here, you got 8mm bolts, and this plastic piece just lifts out, and then it gives you quite a bit more room. The only reason I have to do it this way is because for some reason I deleted the video before I could put it into editing, so hope that helps, guys. So what I'm going to do is use a screwdriver. I'm just going to stick it right here in this little gap and push down on the filter, or on the tube, and then just kind of walk it back and out. And that sound you heard, that little pop, that was the ridge. Just be careful when you're pulling it out, because this wiring that you're going to be seeing down in here is actually your ECM, so you don't want to damage that. But this is just a piece of rubber. Just wiggle. Just like that. So you can see, guys, this little groove is what's basically sealing this into that airbox. So with the screwdriver, you're basically reaching down in, and you're just basically pushing down on that to offset it, and then pulling it out. So now comes the next part of sticking the new filter, the oiled filter, into that hole. So to install the Uni Filter onto the Tiger, I've seen in the forums where it's recommended that, because the filter is oiled, so you don't want oil all over you and all over the bike, so wrap it in the bag that it comes shipped in. Pull back just a little bit so you can stick it in there. It's just going to take a little bit of finagling and pushing, and you'll get it. Just like that, guys, it's in. Something to tell you about this is you're going to have to use your fingers to feel your way around in there, to feel where that gap is, and then once it's in and set, it's not something that you're going to really be able to see because it's kind of up in there, and you're going to need all the room with your hands. So it's really something you're going to have to feel. And once it's in, you'll know, because it won't like just pull out. You could stick a flashlight in there and look around just to make sure that you're 100% on that seal. But once you're in, that's it. The beauty of this is going to filter out about 95% of that dust that's coming around inside here while we're going down these dirt roads or following your buddies. It's going to extend the life of the main filter, and this takes about 10 minutes to pop out, clean, and put back in, where to service the main filter I've heard is time consuming because you got to pull the tank to get down to the air box. So look for that air filter video in probably the end of this year or next year or beginning of next year. I don't really see myself servicing that air filter yet. I think they're saying around 10 to 12,000 miles on those. So with this Uni Filter installed, hopefully we get a little bit more life out of that stock filter. So I'll go ahead and walk you guys through the procedure to put it all back together, and we'll go from there. Okay, first step after you got your brand new Uni filter, or UNI filter, I do apologize, I don't know if it's said differently. I've always heard it pronounced as Uni filter, is to install this bracket that we removed. And if I can source the torque specs, guys, I'll throw them in the video for you. If I don't have them, just use your best judgment for how tight to put something. Just working, what you're trying to do is get that rubber flat back down into where it was originally at. And as always, guys, as you noticed, if you watch any of my videos, I'm a huge advocate for Loctite, because I don't like losing my fasteners or anything like that. This fastener right here is the Torx 30 that we took out right here, that was right above the ECM. If you can see on there, that pink band, that's actually factory Loctite. That's a red Loctite, so I'm going to go ahead, I have some red Loctite here, I'm going to go ahead and put some red Loctite on that and reinstall that guy. Just remember, a little dab will do ya. Like I said, use your better judgment for how tight to put those fasteners. The Loctite's going to keep it from coming loose, so it's not holding your bike together. Just tighten it down. Next, we'll want to put the two 8s on either side, so there'll be a total of four 8mm screws. Alright, so these 8mm screws on either side, they did not have any Loctite on them, but I'm going to go ahead and just put a touch of blue on these guys. Start the bolts by hand, so you're not cross-threading things. Once you have all four of your 8s started by hand, just go ahead and tighten them down. I'm going to use a crisscross pattern. I don't believe it's going to matter on this because it's a metal frame with a piece of plastic in between. It's not like the plastic's supporting the frame. Okay, so now we want to take the strap for the battery and go ahead and reset that. This you just kind of pull, walk it down, and there you go. They really make it easy to do that. Like that. And then hook your battery up. One place I will not recommend Loctite is on your battery cables. You want the best, cleanest connection you can have. I don't know how many times I've seen people with electrical issues because they did something silly with their battery or had a bad connection. So no Loctite here, guys, just use common sense for how tight. If you can wiggle those cables, it's not tight enough. If you can't wiggle those cables, perfect. Okay, next we're going to put these panels back on, so we'll just lift them up. Little sleeves that we set these things down into. Set it like that. And then install your 5mm Allen bolts. Just remember, guys, these screws right here are only holding that little decorative trim piece on. They're not holding the motor in there, so they don't need to be excruciating tight. You'll split the plastic and then you'll be upset. So there's that. The next thing will be is to install the 8mm tray bolt. That had Loctite on it from the factory. As you guys can see from the factory, this one has red Loctite on it, so we're going to go ahead and put a little dab of red on it. Just like that. Next we'll put the seats on. Okay, so before you set the seat down, the tags on the heated seats, they are coated with a red stripe. You can plug them into the other sockets if you would like to. That would only mean that your switch is going to be opposite of, so if you want your seat turned on, you're going to be actually turning on your passenger seat. Passenger seat's coated blue. Plug it in. Line up the pieces. Lift that seat up a little bit, give it a shake, just make sure it's not going to fall off on the bike when you're riding it. Tuck your wiring down. With your passenger seat, you have these two rails right here. These tabs that stick out are tangs. Slide those down in there and then clip that guy in and lock it. Give it a tug and it's on. That's it. Stick the key in. Everything seems to be okay. So no check engine lights or nothing. Next thing would be is to go out and road test the bike and ride it. enjoy that bike off road. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in and watching on how to install this Uni Filter, this pre-filter. I hope it helps a lot of you guys out on how to get that part in if you were kind of on the fence about how hard it was going to be or what's all entailed. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe for future content. Just subscribe. It's free. Again, my name's Robert. I'm the host here with the Piston Slap channel. Thanks. Ride safe, guys.